Okay, we're gonna do this again. Ronnie Rose. Okay, I think we got it figured out. We were having some technical difficulties. Mm. Oh my gosh, Miss Ronnie Rose Mantilla, thank you so much for hopping on here with me.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, first off, tell people about your background because, whenever we were talking about setting this up, you were like, oh my gosh, this is my first time. I think you said being on daytime TV. So I'm not used to all this attention and people wanting to talk to me. So, like, walk us through your background, where you're from, what you've done. You're a singer, you're a dancer. You've been grinding for years to get to this point, right?
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I'm originally from St. Louis. I grew up as a dancer. I wanted to be a ballerina. And then I have been doing like summer theater shows since I was 7. I decided to study theater in college. I went to Baldwin Wallace. I got my degree in music, with a concentration in music theater. I did the pre-Broadway show of The Notebook, straight out of college, and then I was fortunate enough to be on Broadway in a musical called Harmony, written by Barry Manilow, which was really cool to meet him and do all of that. And it was fun to be a part of the show with like some legends of Broadway, like Chip Zion, Sierra Boggess, Julie Benko. It's really fun to do that. Then I did some regional work, and yeah, this is my first like on-screen, on-camera job ever. So,
So you went from being a musical theater girly, still a musical theater girly at heart,
of
to being
course.
on daytime television. Like, talk to me about the difference between that. I mean, like, I know the difference, but like, in your opinion, like, what's the difference? Differences.
Right, right. I don't think people realize how hard daytime is, especially soaps, because we do air 5 days a week. Thank you, Ernestine. Um, we do air 5 days a week, which means that we have to continuously shoot and continuously put the material out there. So like yesterday, I had a 12-hour day. Colby and I, who plays Kat, we shot at least I don't even know how many scenes, but it was like a long day, like maybe 15 scenes. And then thank God I was off for today. Otherwise, I would have had to like come home after that, go over and like learn more scripts and then do it again today and then be off and then do it all again. Like it's a pattern. So I think that's the hardest part. Theater is the same show. It's like on Broadway, at least if I'm having a bad day, I can kind of go into like autopilot. I mean, it doesn't make 8 shows a week any easier, but like mentally and emotionally, it's not as challenging um, to be as like quick with things. Like you can kind of take your time and like the process of learning the show, and it's the same show.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like I mean, every day you were shooting an episode, right?
Yeah.
And so with musical theater, like you said, it's the same show. You go out there, you do it, and you can go into autopilot. Like if you know a role and you mess up one line, it's okay because it's gonna go on, and then the next show
You keep
maybe.
going.
Exactly, exactly. And
Yeah.
so, what has been for you like the biggest like aha moment throughout all this? Because you're on the slate, right? Like you open up, you're a main character on a soap opera. Like, what's been the biggest like, oh my gosh, is this real moment for you?
Um, I really think working with legends like Clifton Davis and like Miss Tooney, like I think that's been such a remarkable experience. Also, like soap opera legends like Carla Mosley, Daphne Duplay, like, and them being just really kind and like being really thoughtful and like intentional, and being so helpful too. Because like I didn't know anything about camera angles or like finding my camera. I mean, like thank God that there's an upstage and downstage like theater, but yeah, I don't know. I think just kind of bringing Chelsea to life and like seeing her on screen. I think the fashion show was my big like oh my God, I've made it kind of.
Oh my God, I've made it. I love that. And so you've been doing this since you were 7. but
Yeah.
professionally, you were grinding for like a decade or so before you, I mean, not to say Broadway, I mean, it's Broadway. Clearly, there are people who stay on Broadway and have good lives.
Yeah.
But you are now on daytime television. So like, do you think you'll stay on daytime TV or do you want to expand into other TV roles? And how hard would that be with your schedule being a main character on this show?
You know, I want to do it all. I've always wanted to do it all. I would love to do film or voice acting or um, being a director or writing or whatever, go back to theater. I think first and foremost, I'm an artist, and I will always want to create art and show life through artistic stories in any genre or any aspect of it. So yeah, I don't know what's next, and I'm just 25, which is like insane to me. So I have so much to learn, and every day I'm learning something new about myself and the character and the business and the industry.
25 is really young. Oh my gosh. Like you really so I'm 35 and like I can remember like starting out in my career and like not knowing anything. Really, like it just
Yeah,
feels like I don't know anything. But
yeah.
yeah, that's you're like on the press, like you're there. It's like you've made
Oh,
it and now there's more, you know?
oh yeah. This is just the beginning, you know. Yeah, for sure. And I
So,
have to believe that, you know.
right. So people are saying you're great as Chelsea.
Thank you.
Talk to me about the character of Chelsea. Whenever I
Okay.
mean, she wasn't named Chelsea in the beginning, whenever you like auditioned, right?
Right. So
And
her name was Cheryl.
okay,
Yeah.
Cheryl. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. Not what we would think to be a young lady name. Okay, so you auditioned for Cheryl. What was like the synopsis of this character?
So I originally auditioned for Kat. And then I sent my tape in, and Kat's name was Allison. Funny enough.
Right.
Um, yeah. And then I sent my tape, and then the next day they asked me to read for Cheryl Chelsea. Uh, I knew she was a model, a social media influencer. I knew that Danny was like up there with like the Naomi Campbells of the world type of model. I knew that her grandmother was like an EGOT winner. So she comes from like affluence. She comes from like greatness.
Hmm.
Um, and I was told that she is the it girl. Like she's who girls want to be, model their fashions after. I knew that her path for herself was different than what Danny wanted for her,
Hmm.
um, which I thought was great because I love like a mother-daughter conflicts. I think that that's rarely seen on television in like my age group, and I love to really play that. Um, and she did have a drug problem that was in the original synopsis of her, because she was a model, and like she lives outside of the gates in DC. She, yeah, I'm trying to think. I think everything about Chelsea is kind of the same, except for the drug issue and her name.
Yeah, I like that she doesn't have a drug problem because I feel like that's so cliche. Like
Yeah,
they're thinking not to say anything bad about the writers, but like some of them are older, so they're thinking like '90s models, like drugs, and perhaps models still do drugs, but like I don't think Gigi and Bella are doing drugs or Kylie Jenner. I mean they could. Who knows? I don't keep up with them. Yeah.
I mean, I
And
was just happy that there wasn't another black character on TV, with like drugs or something like that. I'm like, well, I don't think we need that,
we don't. We have enough of
hmm
that. We don't want
hmm
you cracked out beyond your wits trying to
Right.
steal TVs to sell. What do you make of Chelsea's storyline? It started off, okay, I'm gonna break free from my mom, but then you're in a throuple. Like, I love that. I said, that is real life. Because I don't think so many people, and I feel like you have gay friends, so you probably like
Yeah.
know
Oh
like
yes.
all the craziness.
Oh,
But
I'm in the world.
you,
Okay.
yeah,
So
but I feel like so many straight people, cisgender, heterosexual people, actually are like swingers, and they do things, but they just keep it quiet because society says, one man, one woman, that's all you have to do. So I was so happy to see that being on television. Like whenever you read the script, what did you think?
I loved it because I had never seen that in daytime.
Hmm.
And I really loved that we were, doing so many firsts, and really pushing the boundaries of daytime. And I love that it was Chelsea that was the one that was doing that because, Danny is the wild card, the firecracker. And I love that Chelsea got to like inherit some of that attitude.
Hmm.
Um, and I do read the comments. I know people think, Chelsea is like head over heels and whatnot, but I think we have to remember that she's the baby of the family. She's
Hmm.
young, she's 23. She has had everything that she's ever wanted in life, and she, much like her mother, goes after what she wants.
Hmm.
Um, and she sometimes does it without thinking, without considering. She just dives like head first. But I love playing Chelsea. I love to uh, find her humanity, especially in like all of her confusion of who she wants to be. I think that's such a relatable thing as a young person in like my mid early 20s. Like, I'm still figuring it out. And I think there has to be space for especially young women to do that and young women of color to do that. And I love that it's being like broadcast. And Chelsea makes mistakes. Yes, she fell for a married woman. Okay, but they were open. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But and now she's, finding a new love and she's just completely head over heels. And I love how innocent she is in that. She doesn't have any like there's no barrier between like go for it and wait. Like there is
Hmm.
none of she's 0 or 100. That's it.
Yeah. And I think that's what being young is about. I mean, like you are
Hmm.
young, but you're playing a young person. And it's like you go out and yeah, like you do fall in love with the couple that just wanted you for something fun because they've been married for 10 years, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's just how it is.
Hmm.
So her storyline now with Madison, Dr. Montgomery,
Yes.
um, is this like? I mean, I don't want you to lose your job, so please don't tell us. You're 80 episodes ahead of us, so you know what's going
Yeah.
on. But this is another. I feel like high achieving woman. Do you see them having like a future together, or is there heartbreak? Or I guess be as generic as you can be
Of
about
course.
Madison and Chelsea's relationship. What are we going to see in the next day or week or two?
I I think the possibilities with this are endless, right? So Madison is older, more established, more grounded. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for Chelsea. I think she would be a great partner for Chelsea, but also Chelsea is like really young and she's trying to start a business and she's still trying to figure out how to, you know, navigate her family after the divorce
Mhm.
and this new wife coming in, who is her sister's best friend. She's navigating a lot of emotions and feelings. Um, and Madison kind of comes in at the middle of that. So it can really go either way. Whether she decides to fall for her, well, she is kind of smitten. But whether Madison decides to be a part of it because she's nervous, because, Chelsea's a model and an
Yeah,
influencer, and Madison lives much more of like a quiet life. So
reserved
it
life.
can go either
Yeah.
way. Yeah. Either they can be, you know, opposites, opposites like attract, or just they're so different, it might not work.
So many people, and someone says they have a question, so I'll
Yeah.
ramble until they ask it. Go ahead, Abigail, whenever you want. But so many people like look at age gap relationships and say they can't work. And I actually, oh, there's a question section. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't be doing that. I
Me
love your
neither.
style. Do you get any say in your outfits?
Yeah, I actually do. It's so fun. So our costume designer, Miss Teresa Featherstone, Emmy Award winning, is
Give it up.
brilliant. Yes,
Yes.
and she's sickening. And it's really been fun to collaborate. Like sometimes in my fittings, she'll bring a rack of clothes and she'll be like, "So what are you feeling?" And it's so fun. Like I get to go shopping, and we also have incredible tailors and stylists, so everything is for us. So yeah, I definitely do get to choose some of Chelsea's fits, and I'm excited for y'all to see her evolution as she matures.
Do you get
Yeah,
do you get to keep any of the outfits? Do you want to keep any of the outfits?
I want to keep them all. What do you mean? Well, I mean,
Just
Chelsea and I have different styles. Like, I don't think I would wear a hot pink or a hot yellow, fur coat. But yeah, we are allowed to borrow some items for stuff like that.
Who is your favorite person to act with in a scene?
Oh my gosh. I feel like it's obvious. I mean, Colby and I are friends in real life,
Hmm.
because of the show, and Ariel and I, she plays my sister. And like the three of us are like, we always joke and say that they never give the three of us scenes because we just can't take them seriously because we have
Yeah.
too much fun and we just never get it done because we do have so much fun. But yeah, I think Colby because I love the friendship between Kat and Chelsea. And I think it's like girlhood at its finest. And it's so fun to play that.
Okay, so I know this week we're going to see Andre walk into the guest house looking for Danny.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, can I okay, that's another question, but before I have been harping on this, I just don't like it. I don't like I would die if my sister had sex with my husband's nephew. I would be like, what? Like you saw him grow up? Okay, like he wasn't around a lot. But still, this is your kid. I would be I would die. Like literally, like what in the world?
Yeah.
So what is has I don't know if it's gonna air today, but like the scene where he walks in, like, can you give us a overview of like what we're going to see whenever that happens?
Yes. So, as we know, Kat and Chelsea use Danny's guest house as like their creative space. So, they're working on their Chelsea Cat bags and all of that. And Andre comes in looking for Danny. And Kat and Chelsea are like, because we know, Aunt Danny and Chelsea's mom. And it's like, what's going on? And
Yeah.
it's frustrating for me because I'm like, Chelsea and I have different opinions about things.
Hmm.
Um, I wouldn't be cool with it if my mom was sleeping with like my kind of sort of cousin. That's weird.
Hmm.
Um, but Chelsea is a free spirit. She's open, and so I think Chelsea is enjoying it because it's messy and it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, it's family crap, it's drama.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, in my video yesterday, or maybe like the long one that I did, because like I reviewed like 8 videos, 8 episodes in one video, because I was like, I'm not doing one for all the ones that I missed.
It's a lot.
Anyway, I talked about how my grandmother, and she's dead now, so I can talk. Well, we talked about it
Oh,
openly, but she had 3 kids, my mom and my uncle, by one man, and then had my aunt by another man, and those 2 men were related by marriage. So my aunt has nephews and nieces who are her age and older, and they're also my cousins, but like they're on a different side. And my grandma, she would always say they weren't related, but it's like, okay, they weren't related, but it sets up this weird dynamic that my aunt has nieces and nephews that are 35 and under, and then she
hmm
has nieces and nephews that are 50 and up. So it's like, come on.
yeah.
So hopefully Danny doesn't get pregnant.
Oh,
We
Jesus.
if she got pregnant, that'd be crazy. Okay. Moving on from other Beyond the Gate stuff, like what's the best thing you love about being in Atlanta? That's from Audrey Weaver 30.
Yeah. I really love the restaurant scenes here. Like, I'm a big foodie. I love wine. Um, so yeah, I really love to like go out and just try new places. I mean, our schedules are really hard, so it's kind of hard to take that time, but it's necessary. And I'm young. I want to be in the scene more. So if y'all have like some recommendations of places that you love, like let me know.
I have a really good friend who does influencer marketing for Delta down there. Funny enough, and there's another question I'll ask. Funny enough, she and Colby went to Howard together,
Oh
and
my gosh.
whenever Dochi did like the Delta event,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my friend
Mm-hmm.
Ashley invited Colby to that, and yeah, so there's like so much going on in Atlanta. I just want to like move down there. Like I would love to be in Atlanta half the year because I'm sure it's so hot right now.
Yeah, it's like it's muggy, it's humid. Oh, my auntie's here. Hi, Auntie Nini.
Hello, Auntie. Oh, love from your Auntie Nini. Isn't it awesome being able to like tell your family, hey, I'm doing this show, and then they're able to turn you on Paramount Plus or CBS every day.
Yeah. So being from like St. Louis, and my godfather was the pastor of our church. So I have a lot of church folks that are like watching me, and it's kind of like, oh, like, hi, because Chelsea's
Oh,
like,
hey.
she's a promiscuous girl.
Yes.
But my mom is my biggest fan. She watches the show twice, like every day. She watches it when it comes on, when she's at work, and when she goes home, she'll stream it.
I
And then she'll
love
like send
that.
me like notes or something.
And isn't okay, St. Louis. So I went to school at Murray State University, which is like
Okay.
3 hours like south, like like
That's
Cape
my mom.
Girardeau. Oh,
Yeah.
Rhonda
Hi,
Woods.
mom. Hi, mom.
Hello. Oh my gosh, joining the face of the Instagram live. Okay, do you have any future projects in the works outside of BTG?
I don't right now. I
Baby, she
don't
is
right
paid
now.
and booked and busy on Beyond the Gates. She's
Uh,
done. She's done working, looking for work
for
for now.
now,
For now.
I'm comfortable, but I always like to say as an artist, I don't like to be comfortable for too long. So I mean, I do my own things and hobbies and stuff. Like I love to write. I love to sing. I sometimes will like sing in this little band. I'll post about it sometimes, like here and there when I can. Yeah, I like to stay busy, stay creative. I am blessed. Thank you, Aunt Nita.
Oh my gosh. I love that your
It's a family
mom
affair.
and your aunt joined in. If you want to hop on, like just join the live right now.
Oh
I'll
my
invite
gosh.
you. Or okay, no, I won't do that. Oh my gosh. And dance. Your mom's
Yes.
gonna your mom's gonna make you dance for us on this Instagram live if she
Oh,
gets on.
she's my manager. Like, I don't think y'all
Get out.
understand.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, well, I don't have any other questions. Just thank you for like hopping on here and chatting with me. Actually, I did see one question that popped up.
Yeah.
It was asking about, okay, Abigail says, do you have any advice on how I can stand out and impress casting directors when I'm submitting an audition or doing a self-tape?
Yeah. So, at least for me, I don't try to stand out. What I try to do is just be my authentic self. And I think that that's truly what casting is looking for. They're just looking for you being your authentic, genuine self and just bring your essence to whatever you are doing. That's what I've
Awesome.
always tried to do. And it seems to work. Thank you, Lord. So,
It worked for you. You're on the show. Um,
I know.
the
Thank
season
you.
two pickup renewal, like talk to
Yeah.
me about that day because I think I was talking to Daphne and some people were there filming, some weren't, some were told to come in for an HR meeting. So walk me through whenever how you found out.
So I feel left out because I had a big filming day. Chelsea goes through something major. I'm not gonna spill. And that whole week was just like we call it like your hell week when like your main plot point is like so you're there every day all day. And so, I'm in my room, I'm studying lines, and and then like I just like get a text like, hey, like come to the to stage one. And I'm like, what? So I show up and people are like, Ronnie Rose. And I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? And like nobody told me. So I missed the announcement, the actual formal one, because I was
Mhm.
in my room like barricading myself and learning these lines. But it's fine. And we got to have cake and stuff. So it was cool. But it was so exciting. We kind of all like had a feeling because of how big it blew up, when we premiered. It was like, incredible and all the love that we received. So we were we were hoping, and then yeah, it got announced and we're like, woohoo. I mean, let's do it. And then I had to go back to work. So that was the
Yeah.
day. But
Yeah, I mean, I think you all knew. I mean, like it's trending on Twitter every day. People make that happen. And the
yeah.
ratings, like they are dwarfing what was there, which, it was like a talk show, like that no one, some people watched, but I didn't watch. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I'm a view guy. But there was someone else who asked, okay, we've already answered. She was actually auditioning for the role of Kat.
Yeah.
But if you could play another character on the show, who would you play?
Ooh. Mm. I think if I was older, I would want to play Danny.
Hmm.
She has all like the the sassiest lines,
Hmm.
the like badass fits. Like, oh my God. Um, and I don't know, Carla, I'm just so inspired by Carla. Like, because she is so not Danny. Like, it's so, and it's interesting to see her just drop into that powerhouse of a character. And I just, it's inspiring to me, and I would love to have a
And
shot.
she has a similar background as you, like, because she did
Yeah,
like High Five, and she was like musical theater and all that, and now she's
yeah.
on daytime tele. She's been on daytime television for more than a decade, decades at this point.
Yeah, it was so funny. I used to watch High Five when I was little, and we joke about that. And I'm like, now you're my mom.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you all for watching. Thank you for your reviews. I think they're wonderful, and I
Oh,
love your
you're fine.
takes on them all. No, really. And I just feel so blessed to be a part of this. And like I said, I'm not used to all this attention, but I'm so grateful for it, really.
Well, soak it up. You're in the sun. You're on the main slate of Beyond the Gates. Miss Ronnie
Oh,
Rose Mantilla, thank
thank
you so
you.
much for hopping on here and spending some time on your off day. Now go out and enjoy that Atlanta mugginess for me.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much.
Of course. See ya. Bye.
Bye.